It's Bob and Tom Tonight, starring Chick McGee, Kristi Lee, Josh Arnold, Ace Cosby, Pat Godwin, Willie Griswold, and Tom Griswold.
Here's Tom with a very special guest.
Taking over the chair for Kristi's daughter.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, it's
Yeah, you got a big seat to fill there, Dave.
I am immediately intimidated.
Yeah.
Kristi's daughter.
Does
Does that mean I'm now a member of the family?
Sure.
And what's for dinner tonight?
That's a good question. Actually, I have dinner plans tonight, so you're on your own. You have to make your own.
And they don't include me.
Wow.
That's what I am understanding. You are very clear, young lady. Okay, got it. I
that
will
is the
have
voice
my
of,
chicken fingers in bed.
That is the voice of comedian and actor David Koechner. And Dave has been in lots of stuff everybody knows him from. But in my case, I've been seeing a lot of him all summer long because he is in a movie called A Week Away on Netflix that my 9-year-old daughter plays constantly.
All right.
And it's a great movie.
Yep.
It's a fun movie about going to summer camp, and you're getting this new audience of people that know who you are.
I know, I love it. Just, you just got to keep that fishing pole. Just keep dropping that sinker. You get another collection of 9-year-olds, and eventually when they're 20, like I love it when, so years ago, I did Hannah Montana. I did 3 episodes. So now all those kids are in their early 20s, and I love it when I'll say to them, have you seen Hannah Montana? And they'll go, yeah. And I'm like, I'm Uncle Earl. And they'll slowly, their eyes will widen and their mouths will drop. It's just so much fun. A couple years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago in L.A., my daughter and I were heading to a Starbucks, and there's a corner of this whatever, intersection. And I saw these kids, these girls in the car, and I saw the window come down. I'm like, what's this going to be? Because you always think, how do they know you? And it was the first time, like, Uncle Earl. I was like, oh, my goodness. So, yeah, I'll drop that sinker and get a couple more youngins.
Yeah.
And perhaps best known from...
These days, it's The Office. It's interesting what it is, right? It's whatever that dynamic is, but now it's The Office. Come on off the pandemic, everybody apparently sat and watched The Office forever.
Right.
So,
True.
Man, I'm grateful.
Anchorman.
Yep.
That's where I think a lot of people, probably before that, it was Anchorman.
Yep. And then you'll get, what's really hitting for the comedy deep cuts nerds is The Goods. There's a lot of passion for The Goods.
It's as underrated a comedy as there is, I think.
Look at that. Unsolicited testimonial. Now, are you having dinner with Kristi?
I am not. I'm not. So maybe you and I should
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm looking for allies.
And I'll even go deeper, Dave. I saw you perform with Beer Shark Mice.
Nice.
And it was the lampshades and then Beer Shark Mice, and it was as funny a live show as I've ever seen.
That's true. And that's not ego. We don't want ego, death to ego, but we put on a heck of a show. Now, you're talking about what is called long-form improvisation. So we'll take one suggestion, and we'll do 40 minutes on that. And as me and a group of guys I'd known from Chicago, so I still know them, we'd already known each other for more than 10 or more years. And we put together a group of just great improvisers, and man, we were solid. You want to talk about, basically, it's jazz, really, in a way. And no one was talking, it's jazz comedy, gang. Okay?
What was the name of this aggregation?
Yeah, man.
Aggregation.
Beer Shark Mice. And it is like, it's about the jokes they don't say.
It's the other person you would know from that group was Neil Flynn, who was the janitor on Scrubs and the dad on The Middle.
Yeah.
And we had a great group of people. Everybody had a different dynamism in their comedy bag. And, man, we killed it. And, of course, Lampshades was Kate Flannery, also from The Office, who I'm sure is having dinner with Kristi.
Me. That's exactly right.
That's the voice of Dave Koechner once again.
Have I?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'm just figuring. I'm trying to see how you know all your famous buddies.
Are you writing any movies of your own?
I have. I've written several scripts. None of them produced. It is a fun exercise, but it is not easy.
Some of them sold?
Yes.
Yeah.
But not made.
Right.
Yeah, so they'll buy a script and then not make it.
Yeah.
sometimes, that's the way it goes.
Right. And hey,
you got paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you look back and you're like, I see where the flaws were in that. When you're writing it, you think it's brilliant. I love how so many people like, here's an idea for a movie. Well, why don't you be quiet?
Ask you this. In the course of doing the improv over the years, has any of it ever evolved? You said you remember, boy, that was really funny that one night. Has any of that evolved into part of your stand-up?
Probably, and I can't remember exactly. But, I mean, it's part of what I came up with. And so, for me, a lot of that time, that's how I'll find new stuff, because you work on it on stage, and you might have a thought in the day, and then it winds up there that night, stuff like that. So, nothing from the old days, though. There is a character I did create years ago in a group called Jazz Freddy. This character, Gerald Tibbins, and I that came out of improv. And so, yeah, sometimes some character pieces will come from improvisation that you hold on to.
Is that the one? Is that the truck driver?
Yeah, Naked Trucker and T-Bones.
Yeah. Okay.
Gerald Tibbins. Friends call me T-Bones. Ladies call me when they want the carnival ride of their lives. Do you want to go faster? Who wants to go backwards? And all the ladies go, woo!
That's David Koechner.
T-Bone.
And here's a stupid question. Your last name is kind of unusual.
Yes.
I mean, if one were to look at it for the first time, I'm sure when you were introduced, when you were starting in stand-up, probably a lot of, we have David Koechner.
Right. Here's the thing. My family says it wrong. It should not be Koechner. It should be Koechner. It's a German word. Here's a couple things. Number one, my grandfather was adopted, so I'm not German, and I'm not a Koechner. So I'm from a small town in Missouri, and for whatever reason, there are about 20 German families in this town, right? Now, you'd think they'd remember how to say your own last name. Nowhere in the English language does the O-E make the short E sound. K-O-E is not Koechner. It's at least it's Koechner. Kohler toilets. Come on, gang.
Yes.
So why did no teacher throughout my entire upbringing go, it should be Koechner. It's not Koechner. But then when I got into show business, I've got 36 first cousins on my dad's side. So when I get into show business, and that's when I would have had an opportunity to change it to Koechner, which probably would have accelerated my career, because now people look at my name and go, well, I see it, and I know it's not Koechner. It should be Koechner, but I've heard it pronounced incorrectly, so I'm not even going to invest in it. Because if this guy wouldn't take the time to correct his own last name.
Were you advised early on in your career to maybe go with like Dave King or?
No, my mother's name was Downey, and what I should have said is David Downey, and of course then I'd add a junior to it.
Of course. Yeah.
That's been done by somebody else.
Lorne Michaels did ask me if I wanted a wig.
No kidding.
When I got hired on Saturday Night Live, Dave, you're now going to be introduced to the world. It's up to you whether or not you want hair. And then he went through this list of people that had toupees and hair plugs, and I'm not going to give it away to these poor people that had hair plugs. And so it took me like 3 days. I'm like, oh my God, is he telling me I need to get a toupee? And I think like, oh my family is gonna never let me live this down. All my Chicago buddies that I come up with will never let me. I'm like, and then we went to a baseball game, a Yankees game. Me, Will Ferrell, Lorne Michaels, name dropping all over the place, and he goes, Dave, about the wig. F it. I was like, so relieved.
We have a very special guest in the studio.
Kristi, of course, has 2 daughters, Ava and Beava.
One of them she loves very much.
Yes. we're going to do a big reveal, right? No, it's Sophie. She's right over here. Hi, Sophie. How are you?
Hello. I'm great. I got to hear my mom talk about adult toys at 7 in the morning. It's just the greatest way to start your day.
Let's see. Oh, that was the group that was fighting over the
the man and the woman
toy.
fighting over the sex toy. Yeah,
And she was actually arrested.
yeah.
Do they have
domestic battery.
do they have to take that sex toy then and put it in evidence?
I would think.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine being a judge, you're having a pretty rough day, and all of a sudden someone walks out with a giant dildo and a baggie, holding it with giant tongs. All right, now what? Just send them both to jail. I got a busy day.
Hundreds of thousands of sex toys in evidence, probably all across the country.
Yeah, they probably are.
Probably.
Probably somebody killed somebody with a sex toy, I bet.
Really?
They hit him over the head with it? Sure.
You think so?
Yeah, I bet there's
Poke him
been...
in the eye. Yeah, that'll take you out.
Skull's a delicate flower, Tom.
Use beads like nunchucks.
I regret bringing this up again.
No, the silences, we're all thinking, what would that be like as a movie? What kind of...
Death would be death by sex toy?
Yeah, what would the...
There's your title. I'd go see that. Death by sex toy.
The sex toy murders.
I think it would be a little more specific.
Oh, you would, because you
it'd be like
don't know how to name things.
The dildo of death.
I see.
You know, there'd be a serial dildo killer.
Sex toy story.
Teen with the mad shatter.
There we go. That's where we were.
He found a way to bring
Yes,
poop into
he
it.
did.
No, what we're going to do right now is we're going to play a game with you, Sophie.
Okay.
This is called Poetry for Neanderthals, the Not Safe for Work edition. And the way this game works, apparently you have played it once, so you're aware of it. The person with the cards is allowed to give you hints. You're searching for a 2-word answer, and the hints can only be given in a series of words, but they can only have one syllable.
Correct.
That's the tricky part. And who's going to go first? Willie, you got one over there?
I got a few. These are kind of college themed. So here we go. You ready, Sophie?
Yes, I'm ready.
Frat boys drink
Beer.
beer. They play.
Beer pong.
Hey, there we go.
Very good.
Boy.
Josh, you got one you want to try?
I do, yes. Your dad's sis.
Ant.
Yes.
Aunt Peg.
A time of the month.
Oh, I know this one.
On Flo.
Yes, Sophie.
Aunt Flo. That's a good one. Thank you. Thank you,
Heard that term
Ace.
before?
I have heard that term, but I haven't. No one my age uses that.
See,
if
you
I'm being
shouldn't have got
honest.
They don't use the term flow?
What do they use?
What do they say? They don't say the painters are in?
No, they just say.
They don't say Doomsday at Tuna
period.
Lagoon?
Well, Sophie, how old are you?
I'm 20.
Oh, you haven't even started then.
So they just say period.
Yeah.
No, they
I
say
mean-
Bono's in town, probably.
Well, in Clueless, they say riding the crimson wave. So I like that one.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Roll Tide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Crimson Tide.
No, but I mean, so one of your friends said, listen, I don't want to do that tonight. I'm rolling the tide.
No, you just say I'm on my period. Which I just said.
That's
just
certainly
now, so that's
direct and polite, but not all that funny.
Let's do another one here. The bad guy in it is a
Clown.
your butt.
What?
Your butt is a
Another word for that I can say
Yeah.
right now? For real?
yes.
Ass? Clown ass? Ass clown?
Ass
Listen, I don't know the FCC regulations, all right?
Clown ass would be a very serious medical condition. Well, I'm afraid she's suffering.
Doc, every
from
time I touch it, it goes.
clown
It's a big
ass.
red nose hanging out of
It
it.
sprays me with seltzer whenever I walk by.
So clown ass would be kind of fun. You drop trout, you moon them, you spray their face with seltzer. Oh, that's great. You got another one, Willie?
Yeah, sure. Here we go. Use phone, not text, but
Call.
and also your butt.
Oh, butt dial. But
Pirate gets or
I know.
did say it, Mom.
It's called.
late
Booty
night.
call.
Yeah.
Oh, duh. I guess I'm stupid. Like,
No hand gestures.
Thanks.
Oh. And this is radio. No one saw unless they were on YouTube.
Ace is here to keep us all
That's
correct.
Let's start. We're playing the game Poetry for Neanderthals, and it's available exclusively at Target.
Your rear end.
Ass, butt.
Yes.
Butt. Okay.
Goes in.
Uh-oh.
I'm nervous.
Stops it up.
BP?
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Oh, butt plug?
Yes, that's right. That is your daughter, Kristi.
Thanks for that. Thank you.
I told you she knew butt plugs.
She knew the phrase because she's aware of what one is.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
This was fun.
Has your mom ever shown you her collection?
No.
Yeah.
Now, why would you say that?
No, but right now, a little surprise for everybody.
Oh.
I think on the big screen, there we go.
Oh, there he is.
Oh.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Jeff Oskay, at the Failed to Mention News Desk.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going in there, everybody? Hey, I want to apologize. Last week, my segment really fell flat. I swung for the fences. I came up short. I've been feeling down all week.
Sorry.
So I decided to do something about it. Not write better jokes. I've instead hired myself a full-time hype man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, someone to pump me up, make me feel better about myself, give me some confidence back since my soul has been slowly ripped away from me since starting here.
Yeah.
So let's give it a shot.
That's right, my man. That's right.
All right. I mowed my yard yesterday for the last time of the season. What I failed to mention, instead of doing my normal patterns of striped lines, do you like that look, Tom? The striped lines in the lawn?
Sure.
Yesterday, instead of doing that, what I did was Van Gogh's Starry Night.
Oh, yeah. There we go. That's a start. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
Only took me 19 hours. We're setting our clocks back an hour this weekend. What you failed to mention, yay, I get an hour longer to drink on Saturday night.
Yeah, baby. All right, keep going. Next one.
I'm a little parched.
Oh. Yeah, you gotta get that.
Okay. I'm doing good. Oh, thank you. Guests trapped in Disney on Halloween as China locks down their theme parks over a COVID scare. Guests were trapped inside Disney.
Wow.
What you failed to mention, the kids had to have loved that. So you're telling me we can't leave, Dad? Awesome!
That was magical. That was magic.
There's a new cure for boldness in the works. What you failed to mention, the number one cure for boldness is still baseball cap.
Yes.
Followed in a distant second by Brett Michaels bandana.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Harvey.
Oh, a nice
little
bite of a sandwich
Okay,
there. Yeah.
very
a fish.
Gotta stay. That's what it looked like.
There's a new human washing machine. Like a machine, you climb in and it washes you. What you failed to mention, how can this go wrong? I know there are no two things I love more than mixing bath time and 240 volts of electricity. I'm going to need a little more water, please.
Yeah, that's
He's getting squirted through.
soften up that bun.
The world's dirtiest man has died at the age of 94. What you failed to mention, he is survived by his 17 body lice.
That's it. There's only 17 though.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll get him next time. Let's go.
All right, let's do this. A marijuana company was sued for not getting users high enough. What you failed to mention, maybe next time don't buy a strain called Fake and Bake. Fake and Bake.
Right there on the label.
Even the guy supposed to be helping him out didn't like that one.
Not at all.
Okay, thank you. A judge has ruled in favor of the bikini baristas in a lawsuit brought by the city wanting them to cover up. What you failed to mention, if you don't like the bikini-clad women, then take your ass down the road to the burqa baristas at the Quran Coffee Company.
They're a little more covered up. You're
Yes,
suggesting?
at the
Wearing burqas, you
Quran.
see.
Yeah.
Oh, la, la.
And finally, old-ass musician Jerry Lee Lewis died. What you failed to mention, here's a fact I just made up. A whole lot of shaking going on was written while watching his niece play Yahtzee with her school friends on the living room floor. I've been Jeff Oskay, and this is the news that we failed to mention.
There he goes. That's the hardest working man in news.
Jeff Oskay.
Oh, boy.
Thank you.
Hey man, this is Donnie Baker. If you just like that video, then do your part. Like and subscribe. You have to. It's state law.